Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Chidi Nwaba, a doctor whose specialist subject is the British Industrial Revolution. Rebecca Lodge Bierkebeck, a musician who will be answering questions on the films of Christopher Guest. Anne Maynor, a retired business owner whose subject is the Scottish architect and designer Charles Rennie Mackintosh. And Robin Geddes, a policy manager. His subject, the Emmy award-winning TV drama Succession. Butterflies in the pit of your stomach, nerves jangling, palms sweaty. These are conditions well known to Mastermind contenders. It's called Mastermind syndrome. But our gang of four tonight have all had their shots and boosters, and they're pumped, raring to go and cannot wait for 2 minutes of specialist subject questions and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Alas, there can only be one winner booking their place in the semi-finals. Who will it be? Let's ask our first contender to join us, please. Your name?
Chidi Nwaba.
Your occupation?
Doctor.
And your specialist subject?
The British Industrial Revolution.
The transformation of Britain in the 18th and 19th centuries from an economy based on agriculture to one based on industry. In 2 minutes, starting now, the use of the term industrial revolution to describe Britain's economic development from the middle of the 18th century onwards was popularised by which English historian whose lectures were published posthumously in 1884?
Arnold Toynbee.
Yes, in 1783, which engineer patented a machine that used engraved copper cylinders to print calico and other fabrics?
Dwight.
No, Thomas Bell. James Watt described which of his inventions as one of the most ingenious, simple pieces of mechanism I have contrived, and later claimed that he was more proud of it than any of his other mechanical inventions.
Steam engine.
No, parallel motion. In the 1780s, which Staffordshire pottery manufacturer invented a pyrometer to measure the temperature in his kilns?
Josiah Wedgwood?
Yes, in 1804, Richard Trevithick built the first steam-powered railway locomotive to transport iron from which Welsh ironworks?
Pass.
Which Acts of Parliament passed in 1799 and 1800 banned workers from forming trades unions?
The Workers' Act.
No, the Combination Acts. In 1847, Matthew Townsend invented what type of needle that was used in knitting machines?
The shuttle?
No, latch needle. What was the name of the clockmaker who was hired by Richard Arkwright in 1767 to design a cotton spinning machine that used rollers?
John Kay.
Yes, in which 1829 essay did Thomas Carlyle say he was tempted to call this age of ours the mechanical age?
Pass.
At the mills he co-owned in New Lanark, Robert Owen reformed what traditional system in which workers were paid in kind with vouchers or tokens that could be exchanged only in company shops?
Coupon.
No, truck system, which Scottish civil engineer built aqueducts over the Ceiriog and Dee valleys in Wales using cast iron troughs set into masonry.
Barton?
No, Thomas Telford. In 1809, a lace-making machine was patented by which inventor whose Loughborough factory was attacked by Luddites in 1816?
Pass.
It was John Heathcote. Chidi, you had 2 other passes. Sign of the Times is the 1829 essay that Thomas Carlyle said he was tempted to call this age of ours the mechanical age. And the first steam-powered railway locomotive to transport iron from which Welsh ironworks? It was Penny Darren. And at the end of that round, Chidi, you've got 3 points. And our next contender, please. Your name?
Rebecca Lodge Bierkebeck.
Your occupation?
Musician.
And your specialist subject?
The films of Christopher Guest.
Yes, the feature films for which Christopher Guest has received a writing credit, most of them being semi-improvised mockumentaries. In 2 minutes, starting now. What's the name of the eccentric theatre director played by Guest himself, who appears in Waiting for Guffman and 20 years later in Mascots?
Corky St. Clair.
Yes, in The Big Picture, Nick Chapman directs a pop video of the song The Whites of Their Eyes. For what band?
The Pez people.
Yes, in For Your Consideration, the two marketing people who pitched their ideas for a poster to the film's producer are played by Richard Kind and which actress?
Jennifer Coolidge.
No, Sandra Oh. What's the three-word show name of the standard poodle called Butch that's trained by Christy Cummings in Best in Show?
Rhapsody in White.
Yes, in A Mighty Wind, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean and Harry Shearer appear as a folk group called the Folksmen, whose 3 album covers shown on screen are entitled Singin', Wishin' and what?
Pickin'.
Yes, Mike and Mindy Murray performed together as the baseball mascots Ollie the Octopus and Tammy the Turtle, although Mike was originally going to be a killer whale. With what name?
Oscar.
No, Kevin, who is credited as the composer on Best in Show, For Your Consideration and Mascots, and also appears on screen in several of Guest's films.
Michael McKean.
No, C.J. Vanston, according to the lyrics of the song Stonehenge in This Is Spinal Tap. We'll go back in time to that mystic land where the dewdrops cry and the what?
And the sheep whine.
No, Cats Meow. What's the title of the song by the fictional folk duo Mitch and Mickey, which is sung over the closing credits of A Mighty Wind?
As a kiss at the end of the rainbow.
No, When You're Next to Me. What's the name of Guest co-writer on Mascots, who also acts in that and several of Guest's other films?
Michael McKean.
No, Jim Piddock. When the Spinal Tap character David St. Hubbins is questioned about his surname, he claims that St. Hubbins was the patron saint of quality what?
Footwear.
Yes, at the start of For Your Consideration, the actress Marilyn Hack, played by Catherine O'Hara, is watching what 1938 film on the television?
Jezebel.
Yes, in Waiting for Guffman, what's the title of the musical that's being staged to celebrate the 150th anniversary of a community in Missouri?
Red, White and Blaine.
Yes, it's Red, White and Blaine. And Rebecca, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 7 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. Your name,
Anne Maynor,
your occupation,
retired business owner.
and your specialist subject.
Charles Rennie Mackintosh.
The architect, designer and artist who was a revolutionary figure in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. In 2 minutes, starting now. Charles Rennie Mackintosh was born in 1868 to Margaret and William Mackintosh. His father was a clerk who worked for what organisation?
The police force in Glasgow.
Yes, after his school career, Mackintosh obtained a 5-year pupillage in the offices of which Glasgow architect?
John Hutchison.
Yes, Mackintosh supplemented his architectural training by attending Glasgow School of Art, where he came under the artistic influence of the headmaster who joined the school in 1885. What was his name?
Francis Newbury.
Yes, Mackintosh formed a romantic attachment with a fellow student at the School of Art who was the sister of his employer at the architectural firm he joined in 1889. What was the student's name?
Jessie Keppy.
Yes, in 1890, Mackintosh won the Alexander Thompson Travelling Studentship, which paid for a European trip to study architecture. In which city did Mackintosh begin his journey through Italy?
Naples.
Yes, Mackintosh was a member of the group of artists widely known as the Four, or the Glasgow Four, which comprised himself, his future wife, Margaret MacDonald, her sister Frances, and which of his friends?
Herbert McNair.
Yes, Mackintosh designed a home called the Hill House for the publisher Walter Blackie, in which Scottish town?
Helensburgh.
Yes, which Glasgow school, designed by Mackintosh from 1903, was remarkable for its twin cylindrical glazed towers that lit the stairs at the front of the building?
Queen's Cross.
No, Scotland Street School. A few months after their wedding in 1900, Charles and Margaret exhibited their furniture and interior decoration at an important European exhibition. In which capital city?
Vienna.
Yes, after their showing at the Vienna Secessionist exhibition, the Mackintoshes received a commission in 1902 to design a music room for which leading art patron?
Fritz Varndorfer.
Yes, Mackintosh's industrial building in the narrow confines of Renfield Lane was given a facade of white and blue glazed brick, the project having been designed for which publication?
The Daily Record.
Yes, in 1914, the Mackintoshes moved to which village on the Suffolk coast, where Charles's solitary walks and letters from Austrian and German friends led to a false accusation of spying, forcing him
Walberswick.
to leave. Yes, it is Walberswick. And Anne, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 11 points.
Thank you.
Now, our final contender, please. Your name,
Robin Geddes.
your occupation,
Policy Manager.
and your specialist subject.
Succession.
The award-winning American drama series starring Brian Cox as Logan Roy, the head of a family who own a vast media conglomerate called Waystar Royco. In 2 minutes. Starting now. Succession was created by which British writer and producer whose previous credits include the comedies Fresh Meat and Peep Show?
Jesse Armstrong.
Yes, in the first episode, Logan Roy surprises his family by deciding to remain in his role as chairman and CEO of the firm, rather than, as expected, retiring and handing over the reins to which of his children?
Kendall.
Yes, what song is played when Logan takes a phone call from the US president at the end of episode 6 of season 1 and also gives the episode its title?
Which side are you on?
Yes, which Australian actress plays Siobhan Roy, known as Shiv, Logan's only daughter, who marries Tom Wamsgand in season 1?
Sarah Snook.
Yes, as Tom greets his parents when they arrive for his wedding to Shiv, they tell him that during their journey they think they saw a member of U2. And which American economist?
Milton Friedman.
No, Arthur Laffer. What's the four-word rhyming name of the humiliating game Logan forces some board members to play during a corporate retreat in Hungary in the episode Hunting?
Bore on the Floor.
Yes, who directed All the Bells Say, the finale of season 3, in which Logan's ex-wife Caroline remarries in Tuscany and Kendall's siblings stage an intervention for him?
Mark Mylod.
Yes, Waystar attempts to buy a rival company, Pierce Global Media, negotiations for which, according to Logan's advisor, Jamie Laird, will be delicate. Like French kissing, what creature?
A horse.
No, an armadillo. Kendall Roy has 2 children from his marriage to Rava, a son named Iverson and a daughter called what?
Sophie.
Yes, which actress won a Primetime Emmy in 2020 for her portrayal of Nan Pierce, the head of Pierce Global Media?
Cherry Jones.
Yes, Connor Roy, Logan's eldest son, finances a play entitled Sands, written by his girlfriend Willa, which opens in preview at which Broadway theatre?
Adelphi.
No, Ethel Barrymore Theatre in Lion in the Meadow. The interim CEO, Jerry Kellman, tells Roman Roy, Logan's youngest son, that she has a date, and he jokingly guesses it might be with either the ghost of Christmas past or which actor?
Vincent Price.
No, Montgomery Clift. And Robin, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 8 points.
Thank you.
And at the end of the specialist subjects round, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 3 points, it's Chidi. In 3rd place with 7 points comes Rebecca. In 2nd place with 8 points, it's Robin. And in 1st place with 11 points comes Anne. So now the general knowledge round. And if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, it's a tie break. So let's ask Chidi to join us again, please. So, Chidi, you start with 3 points. You've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. The abbreviation VIP for a high-ranking official or public figure who receives special treatment stands for what?
Very important person.
Yes. What's the title of the British version of the American television quiz show College Bowl?
University Challenge.
Yes. What 3-letter word derived from Old English is commonly used as a synonym for beer?
Ale.
Yes, the road tunnel linking France and Italy, which was opened in 1965 and is just over 7 miles long, is named after which alpine mountain?
Pass.
Which American author used his experiences on the whaling ships Acushnet and Luciane as the inspiration for many of his books, including his most famous work published in 1851?
Melville.
Yes, Herman Melville. Which Scottish castle, north of Dundee, whose name is mentioned in Shakespeare's Macbeth, was the childhood home of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother?
Loch Lone.
No, Glamis Castle. What French term is used in art to refer specifically to painting that's done outdoors?
Al fresco.
No, en plein air. Which British group had a UK hit single in 2009 entitled You've Got the Love?
Fun Boy 3.
No, Florence and the Machine. The gulf between the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa, linking the Arabian Sea to the Red Sea, is named after which seaport in Yemen?
Pass.
When it opened at the Abbey Theatre in Dublin in 1907, what play by J.M. Synge sparked riots because of its negative portrayal of rural Irish people?
Pass.
What word for the shaft of a bird's feather is also the name given to an early form of pen made from such a feather?
Quill.
Yes, what 1999 film about patients at a psychiatric hospital stars Winona Ryder as Susanna and Angelina Jolie in an Oscar-winning performance as Lisa?
Pass.
The name of which hormone-producing glandular organ of the human body comes from Greek words for all and flesh?
Pass.
In February 2022, which Los Angeles American football team won the Super Bowl, beating the Cincinnati Bengals in the final?
The Patriots.
No, Los Angeles Rams. Which former leader of the Labour Party has a son named Stephen, who was elected as the MP for Aberavon in 2015?
Neil Kinnock.
Yes, the new 5p and 10p coins issued by the Royal Mint in 2012 are made from steel coated with a layer of what metal?
Nickel.
Yes, the American singer and actress Courtney Love was married to which rock musician from 1992 until his death 2 years later?
Kurt Cobain.
It is Kurt Cobain. And Chidi, you had 5 passes, the name of which hormone-producing glandular organ of the human body comes from the Greek words for all and flesh is the pancreas. And the film about psychiatric patients starring Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie is Girl Interrupted. The play that sparked riots because of its negative portrayal of rural Irish people, the Playboy of the Western world. And the gulf between the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa, Aden. And the road tunnel linking France and Italy, which was opened in 1965 and is just over 7 miles long. It's named after the Alpine mountain Mont Blanc. And at the end of that round, Chidi, you've now got 11 points.
Thank you.
And next up, let's have Rebecca. Rebecca, you start with 7 points. The score to beat, as it stands, is 11 points. And you've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. In the media, a story in which someone divulges a relationship with a famous person is known colloquially as a kiss and what?
Tell.
Yes, Diana, who became Princess of Wales in 1981, was born with what surname?
Spencer.
Yes, which musician rose to fame as the lead singer of the band Blur?
Damon Albarn.
Yes, what herb, with a name derived from a diminutive of the Latin for hay, has an aniseed taste and is often used as an accompaniment to fish?
Dill.
No, fennel. In 2016, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London acquired a fez that had belonged to which British comedian and magician who'd often worn it while performing?
Tommy Cooper.
Yes, in the abbreviated name UPVC for a building material commonly used to make window frames, the letter U stands for what word?
Ultra.
No, unplasticized. Which Indian cricketer who made his test debut as a teenager in 1989 has the nickname Little Master?
Rav Singh.
No, Sachin Tendulkar. Which West African country, once known as the Gold Coast, gained independence from Britain in 1957?
Ivory Coast.
No, Ghana. In Alfred Hitchcock's 1958 film Vertigo, which actress plays the dual role of Madeleine Elster and Judy Barton?
Grace Kelly.
No, Kim Novak. Which conservation charity was founded in 1972 by a Devon-based farmer and motor racing driver named Kenneth Watkins to protect British forests?
World Wildlife Trust.
No, the Woodland Trust. What small creature is described in a 1785 poem by Robbie Burns as a wee, sleek-it, cowering, timorous beastie?
A mouse.
Yes, the German musician Anne-Sophie Mutter, who first played with the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra at the age of just 13, is a virtuoso on which instrument?
Violin.
Yes, what's the full name of the Channel 4 news presenter who left in 2021 after more than 30 years working on the programme?
Krishna Gurumurthy.
No, Jon Snow. Which city in northern England has the telephone area code 0113?
Newcastle.
No, Leeds. Which award-winning British dramatist is known for stage plays such as Plenty, Racing Demon and Straight Line Crazy?
Tom Stoppard.
No, Sir David Hare. In 2018, Adam Price was elected leader of which UK political party?
UKIP.
No, Plaid Cymru. The archipelago of Guadeloupe, an overseas département of France, is in which sea?
Indian Ocean.
No, the Caribbean Sea. What's the common name for the large game bird Meleagris galapavo, originally native to North America, that has been widely domesticated there and elsewhere, chiefly for its meat?
Turkey.
It is the wild turkey. And Rebecca, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got a total of 14 points.
Thank you.
Next up, it's Robin. Robin, you start with 8 points. The score to beat as it stands is 14 points. And you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Starting now. In which sport does a player score 40 points by hitting a double top?
Golf.
No, darts. A senior employee who is presented with a large sum of money on leaving a company is said to be given what type of handshake?
Golden.
Yes. What's the first name of the son of the former editor of The Times newspaper, William Rees-Mogg, who was first elected as the MP for North East Somerset in 2010?
Jacob.
Yes. What television sitcom first broadcast in 1990 has an opening theme song that begins, "They say I might as well face the truth, that I'm just too long in the tooth"?
One Foot in the Grave.
Yes. Cumber earlies and Ayrshire earlies harvested in Northern Ireland and Scotland, respectively, between May and late July, are varieties of what vegetable?
Carrots.
No, potato. In 2000, which American country music singer had a UK #1 single entitled Can't Fight the Moonlight, the theme song for the film Coyote Ugly?
Leanne Rimes.
Yes, in which 1946 play by Eugene O'Neill does a group of regulars in a run-down New York saloon bar eagerly await the arrival of their friend, a cheerful salesman known as Hickey?
Death of a Salesman.
No, The Iceman Cometh. Gorky Park, named after the writer Maxim Gorky, is a local attraction in which European capital city?
Moscow.
Yes, the novel Shirley, published in 1849, was written by which of the Bronte sisters?
Anne.
No, Charlotte. Which Marvel superhero is the title character of the 2021 film with the subtitle No Way Home?
Spider-Man.
Yes, ballet rehearsal on stage, Dancers in Blue and The Prima Ballerina are paintings by which French Impressionist artist?
Degas.
Yes, in the final of the 2022 Women's FA Cup at Wembley, which London club beat Manchester City 3-2?
Chelsea.
Yes, black lead and the archaic term plumbago are alternative names for which form of carbon?
Charcoal.
No, graphite. The 2021 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded jointly to the American scientists David Julius and Ardem Pataputian for their research into which one of the 5 human senses?
A hearing.
No, touch. Which region of southern Italy is commonly described as the toe in the boot of Italy?
Campania.
No, Calabria. Which Scottish author known for novels including The Wasp Factory and Walking on Glass included the middle initial M in his name specifically for his works of science fiction?
Ian Banks.
Yes. In chemistry, what word is used to describe a solution that contains the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved?
Solvent.
No, saturated. What name from the Latin for turn towards, I've started so I'll finish, is given to the side of a coin that features the main design or picture?
Obverse.
It is obverse. And Robin, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 18 points.
Thank you.
And finally, let's have Anne again, please. And you start with 11 points. The score to beat to get through to the semi-finals is Robin's 18 points. And you've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. In an expression that originated in fishing, someone who has been completely fooled by a trick is said to have fallen for it hook, line and...
Sinker.
Yes, Beautiful Trauma in 2017 and Hurts to Be Human in 2019 were UK #1 albums for an American singer who uses what colour as her stage name?
Red.
No, pink. Charon is the largest satellite of which dwarf planet in our solar system?
Uranus.
No, Pluto in a fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm. Which character lets down her long hair to allow a prince to climb into the tower where she's being held captive?
Rapunzel.
Yes, which British filmmaker directed the films Secrets and Lies, Happy-Go-Lucky and Mr. Turner?
Pass.
Which 19th century UK Prime Minister wrote a series of political novels including Coningsby, Sybil and Tancred?
Disraeli.
Yes, at the age of just 29, the social media entrepreneur Stephen Bartlett became the youngest ever member of the panel on what television programme when he joined the show for the 2022 series?
Dragon's Den.
Yes, what's the name of the largest island of the Isles of Scilly in terms of both area and population?
Tresco.
No, St. Mary's. The virus that causes glandular fever is known by what name, sometimes abbreviated as EBV?
Epstein-Barr virus.
Yes, which English king who reigned mainly in the 13th century was nicknamed Lackland because of the limited size of his inheritance?
Henry III.
No, King John. What name, partly derived from the Greek for race or lineage, is given to the study of a person's family history or ancestry?
Genealogy.
Yes, the format of a competitive tournament in which each participant plays once against each of the others in a series of matches is commonly known by what alliterative name?
Knockout.
No, round robin. Which American actress who won an Oscar for her role in the 1993 film The Piano provides the voice of Elastigirl in the animated Incredibles franchise?
Holly Hunter.
Yes, which city is the national capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Pass.
What type of jar, named after the Dutch city where it was invented in the 18th century, is coated with a metal foil that allows it to store electrical charge?
Delft.
No, Leyden jar. The German company Steiff is best known for its manufacture of what soft toy, the first of which it made in 1902?
Teddy bears.
Yes. What wind instrument, often shaped like an elongated egg with a hole for each finger and thumb, has an Italian name meaning little goose?
Bassinet.
No, ocarina. In 2020, at the age of Start Is All Finish, at the age of 83, which Czech-born British dramatist won an Olivier Award for Best New Play for Leopoldstadt?
Chekhov.
No, Sir Tom Stoppard. And Anne, you had two passes. Which city is the national capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina? Sarajevo.
Yes.
And Mike Leigh directed the film Secrets and Lies, Happy-Go-Lucky and Mr. Turner. And at the end of that round, Anne, you've just done it. You've got 19 points.
Thank you. Thanks.
So let's have a look at the final scores. In fourth place with 11 points, it's Chidi. In third place with 14 points comes Rebecca. In second place with 18 points, it's Robin. And in first place by a whisker. With 19 points, it's Anne, which means she goes through to the semi-finals. Congratulations to her. If you would like to be a contender in the next series, please go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Well, I don't come from a quizzing background, really, other than just watching television quizzes and answering the questions, but I'm really pleased with the way I performed today.
You've just done it. You've got 19 points.
Thank you. My husband will be really pleased that I've won. He had lots of faith that I was going to do well. I didn't necessarily share his faith in that, but I guess he was right.